Hello Sagittarius, and welcome back to the channel. Let's get into your channeled message. This is going to be a timeless reading. Please take it with a grain of salt. You're going to know if it's for you. So this is the energy that I'm getting. There's something to do with either a friend, a family member. You're going to know who this is, but there's something with you need to be mindful of the company that you keep, okay? Because there's some people that they make it seem like they have your best interest, but they don't. There's also something, I was getting this download where, you know, there's a difference between friends or family members being playful and fun and maybe teasing one another. But then there's another where they take humor and they use it as insult, okay? So I feel like you need to stay clear of people like that, okay? Especially when it's done with ill intent. Because these are people that make it seem like they have your back, they care about you, but I feel like this is somebody that it's almost like they compete with you, okay? These are people that were literally like, I'm getting tear you down. This is somebody that tears you down, all right? And we don't need that kind of energy in our life. We have the Five of Wands here in the Tower. Yeah, there's something to do with, again, like a group of people, friends, family member, where you guys are all like attacking one another. And it is like, I have to say, something to do with a defense mechanism. This could be the person that you're connected to. Like, I'm getting strong Mars energy. Okay, very strong Mars energy. Let me see who this person is or these people. The Ten of Wands. Yeah, and the Six of Wands. So, you know what I'm getting? This is the type of person where, wow. So, Spirit is showing me that this is the type of person that will say like, okay, hold my bag. Hold my bags. Okay? So this is like, I'm getting that this is a very arrogant person. These are people that are very arrogant. I have been picking up this energy where it's like, there's people here who make it seem like they have it all, that they have it all figured out and they have all the answers. This is giving me like big head energy, right? With the Six of Wands. And it's like, they're making you, it's like they're telling you to hold their bags. Like, that's what I'm getting. Okay, not literally, but this is just energetically where it's like you're in the back. You go in the back. Okay, I'm in the front and you're in the back. I'm the one that's better and you're the one that goes in the back because you're going to hold all my bags. And so this is a very entitled individual. Okay, let me see. Yeah, so I feel like, and I have been picking up this energy where it's like there could be people around you that treat you like you are beneath them, or so they think. But I feel like the whole time with the Ten of Wands, it's like you're doing all the work. You're getting all the strength. So this is like, I don't know if this is your boss, or it feels like a very bossy energy, or you're surrounded by people who come across as like, again, better than you, more entitled than you, like feeling like they have it all. And let's say, even if they do, let's say this is somebody that has a better job than you, right? It's like they'll knock you down just because, oh, they have a better job than you. You know what I mean? Like, this is the energy that I'm getting. Yeah, and the Queen of Swords, Ace of Swords. So this can either be that these are people that you're around, very cold and cruel and cutthroat. I'm getting cutthroat. But I feel like this is also the energy that now you're embodying. Let me see. Let me see your energy here. So this could be like either an older sibling or somebody that's older. Yeah, these are like with the Devil here. This is a very toxic kind of situation. Now, again, doesn't have to be a family member, although it could be, but it could just represent like, this could even be like maybe you make yourself small or you feel small around this person. You know, let me see your energy. The Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, the wheel is turning in your favor with the Queen of Swords. Yeah, look at that, the Empress. So the wheel is turning, because it's like all these people that were doing attacks on you and making you feel like you didn't have it all, or you didn't know what you were talking about, or you don't really have a lot of experience. You could even be somebody who's very humble. You only speak unless you really need to say something. So these are people that think that because you don't say much, or because you're quiet, it's like you're not collecting data. You know what I mean? And like, you're the type of person where you're quiet in a group. When it comes to speaking up, like, you're the one that's quiet. You're the one that's listening. And a lot of people underestimate that kind of power. But the one that is the most silent in the group is the one that is the most powerful, because they're the ones that is observing and collecting all the information. And these are people that come across as thinking that they know everything. And I feel like they were treating you like less than. They were talking almost like they were talking about you, but you were in the room there. You know what I mean? Like, this is the kind of individual. These are people that, again, they're very arrogant. They're cocky. They make it seem like they can talk to anybody the way they please because they can. Because maybe nobody ever put them in their place. Maybe they were surrounded by like masculine, feminine energy. I feel like it's more feminine energy that, you know, not only the person that you're connecting with, but the people that they were also like brought up. It's a very strong feminine, but it's like feminine in a masculine way. Like, I'm talking more like women, okay? But it's toxic women. It's probably women who have been abused and they don't know how to like claim their power, okay? So I feel like this is like somebody that has been knocking you down, okay? And I feel like now the wheel is turning in your favor, and you're stepping into your Queen of Swords energy. Now you're speaking your truth, and now you're saying it how it is, and these people don't like it. Let me see your energy. Or I feel like now it's your turn to start communicating. Now it's your turn to start speaking up, you know, or I feel like you kind of are starting to speak up. Yeah, because you were in hanged man for so long. You were watching, you were observing, you were reflecting, possibly on your past experiences, on your childhood experiences. But it's like you have been watching, you have been waiting, you have been contemplating, you've been gathering information, you have been learning. The page here is a student, okay? And I feel like now the wheel is turning in your favor. Let me see with the Wheel of Fortune for Sagittarius. King of Swords. Okay, so this is you actually being in your masculine energy. This is being in your masculine energy where you are now logical. Now you are assertive. I'm getting you're assertive. You know, you speak up when you need to speak up is what I'm getting. But this is like also very detached and aloof. Yeah, there's something to do with your energy being very objective. Again, like this is a King of Swords energy is really like observing and speaking only when they need to, right? Like I'm getting something to do with, because they're so objective. So they study, they learn, they've mastered how to gain information, to do their research and then write it down. And you know what I mean? So this is the energy of the King of Swords. You've learned, it's like these people taught you how to just observe and just watch and just see, right? That we saw the Page of Swords. So you were like just watching and observing. Like you could even be the youngest, okay? You don't have to be the youngest, but it's just like this energy of you're kind of like the smallest, or you're the one that has been observing the most, and you've been collecting all your information, and you've been getting all, like you've been paying attention. Even though you haven't been saying anything, you have been paying attention. And these people think that just because you're not saying anything, because you're not lashing out at them, because you're not like lowering yourself to their, you know, toxicness, it's like they think that they wanted an argument. They think that they have, they manipulated you, that they controlled you. And it's like, no, I'm watching. I'm waiting. I'm waiting to attack. I'm waiting until the right time that I need to. Sometimes I don't even need to say anything, because I know at the end of the day that your behavior is a reflection of you. It's not it has nothing to do with me. King of Swords, your objective. Let me see these people here that think that they run the world. Okay, because there's nothing more that I actually like. I get triggered with people like this, I'm not gonna lie. But I also realize that it's also it's a shadow of mine that I realize too. It's because when I look at when I was younger as well, I was very like, you know, not very, like, I didn't really speak up much, and I don't like, I was very shy. But it was also because I grew up with a lot of like loud women. I also grew up with a lot of women that like just talked, and they could just, you know, and again, there's nothing wrong with it, but some of them were just like extremely arrogant, and yeah, like just very like sharp, like sharp with the words, but they lacked, almost like they lacked the emotional part. Okay, and that's probably something that they need to learn, but whatever. So yeah, in that way, it's some kind of, yeah, look, the Ace of Swords, it has some kind of shadow. It's like, it's a shadow possibly that you need to, you know, if you're resonating with this message, it's kind of the same thing here, right? It's like playing small, or it's like you learned to play small because you never wanted them to lash out. So you made yourself small so that they didn't have to, like, you know, say anything. But really, it's like you never learned how to express yourself, because the way that they would express themselves, it wasn't in a healthy way. It was very toxic. It made you feel cold. It made you feel like, no, that doesn't seem right. That doesn't feel like you should be communicating that way. Let me see. Who are these people? Okay, Two of Cups. So it could be people in relationships. It could be people that you connected with on an emotional level. Like, they're just very harsh. Let me see. It could even be a lover. Who are these people? Yeah, Judgment in the reverse. So these are people that like use bad, like they don't have good judgment. They lack discernment. Okay. Yeah, like I'm just getting like, it's this energy of, because they sit in this Six of Wands, Knight of Swords, like they think, again, it's like they run the world or they run the show, but they're not using good judgment. Okay. Let me see this. They don't use good. What is this? Judgment in the reverse. Yeah, King of Cups. What is this? Judgment in the reverse. Or this could even be that they don't use good judgment when it comes to relationships, when it comes to connections. I don't know, something. What don't they use good judgment about? The Four of Swords. So this is like, yeah, it's almost like this is somebody that doesn't reflect. They don't take time to reflect. Whereas the King of Swords is they gather the information, they reflect on it, they analyze it, and then they respond. Then they say what they have to say. This one is just like automatically just saying what they need to say without no thought, with no care in the world. They don't care if they hurt your feelings. They don't care. They don't care. Right? But it's like, at the end of the day, like, this is also somebody that doesn't know how to reflect on their own life and to reflect on their own experiences. Let me see. Yeah, there's something to do with the Fool. I keep seeing the Fool and the High Priestess. So I'm kind of getting, it's like a very reckless energy. They're like not really listening to their intuition, or they go against their guidance. Let me see. Who are these people? Or this person? It could be one particular person, but it's just like, again, the Fool. Like, they don't use good judgment. They're very careless. They don't take time to meditate or to analyze, you know, Four of Swords. Let me see these people's energy here. Why the Judgment in the reverse? Yeah, Knight of Pentacles. Again, there's something to do with like, they need to, something to do with slowing down, needing to slow down, or they, you know, it's like they're racing to the end, racing to the finish end, to the line, you know, racing. Yeah, like Four of Wands. Racing to the finish line. Look at this. This kind of looks like a banter. Like it looks like, you know, when you finish like racing or something, they're racing at the finish. But I feel like in some way they end up coming in last. Not that it's ever even a fucking competition. Like people need to stop comparing themselves to what other people do in their life. You understand? Like there's no finish line. And I feel like these are people that literally try to make it to the finish line. Yeah, gossip. Let me see. Any other messages here for Sagittarius? I can't stop thinking about you. The letter N could be significant. With E. And liar. Y. Taurus. And T. Aggressive. They're gaslighting you. Yeah, I feel like these are people who are aggressive. You know, let me see. Tell us more about this here, please, Spirit. Yeah, look at this. Fake friends. Envy. Yes, thank you, Spirit, for... Exactly. These are people who are like envious. And I feel like these are people who compare themselves to other people and they're just never satisfied in their life. Okay, but I feel like this is the kind of energy where Spirit will help them to teach them how to be humble. We have toxic and illusions. Stop lying to yourself, trust your intuition. So this is just a confirmation that this is somebody that you need to pay attention to, and that if they're really your friend or your family member, that they will have your best interest, that they will be kind, loving, supportive, and that they're not just going to put you down just to make themselves feel better. Okay? And again, if it's playfulness, if it's playful banter, joking here and there, that's okay. I'm talking about taking something and turning it into like hate.